Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your June 2018 mid-month general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers, and thank you for all your support, feedback, and comments, and your subscribes and likes and shares. And always a thank you to all of my clients out there, regular and new clients, for continuing. Oop, got a jumper. Continuing to keep me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. Always an honor and a pleasure to read for you. That was a whole clump of cards that came out, so I'm not going to keep those. If any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can get more information and my contact details by clicking on the little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, or click on the description bar of the videos I post. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be so delighted to work with you. I can usually get back to you within the first day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact. And turnaround time for readings is pretty fast too, because I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do and what I love to do. So if you're interested, send me an email. We'll go from there. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, including overviews of what's upcoming in your life and gift readings for people you want to gift a personal reading with. So contact me and we'll set something up for you if you're interested. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That's also with my contact details. All right, let's move into this. Is for the earth sign of Virgo for the remainder of June 2018. Let's see what's in store for our Virgos for the last couple of weeks of June. If you know your rising and your moon sign, watch those as well for additional clarification, because general readings can play out a little differently in the details and timing, although the energy and advice always remains the same. All right, Virgo, we have the Five of Swords along with Strength. That's a great combination, actually. We have the Ten of Cups with the Four of Pentacles at or towards the end of the month. Looks like a lot of that challenging energy, as is with all the signs so far, that more challenging energy was showing up in the first part of the month and just sort of maybe easing and even disappearing for a lot of you around the middle of the month, because you end the month really quite nicely. And your overall energy and guidance and advice for the remainder of June 2018 is the Magician. Let me just take a look here, Virgo. Okay, Virgo. Your overall energy, focus, and advice for the remainder of June 2018 is the Magician. You have everything that you need, Virgo, to manifest whatever it is you want to manifest, build, create in any area of your life, even if it's, you know, whether it's relationship or job, work, career, or projects, or resolving conflicts. When the Magician shows up, it says that you have all the tools, the skills, the knowledge, the wisdom, or the ability to gather those things in order to accomplish something in a way that where you're not necessarily relying on other people, because the Magician is a very independent, very entrepreneurial energy. He's got a long road behind him, and the reason he's so good at his craft now is because of how long and hard he's worked into, you know, gathering his tools, learning how to use them, wisdom, knowledge, experience. So you're at this place you can manifest anything that you want. Cautionary advice, so remember that for whatever's in front of you or needs to be done or dealt with or accomplished or resolved for the remainder of June, Virgo. The only cautionary advice with the Magician is he sometimes is a bit arrogant, so watch that. Because he's, you know, he has his challenge is perhaps in working with other people, compromising and negotiation, considering other people's, you know, ideas or ways of doing things, because he does things his own way because that's what works for him and that's how he's always done it. So just kind of remember that and kind of temper that energy just a bit, particularly in your dealings with other people for the remainder of June 2018. Now we find ourselves around the middle of the month or so with the Five of Swords clarified by Strength. So the Five of Swords is victory, a hard-won victory, technically a victory. I say technically because the accompanying question is always, is something worth it? Has it been worth it? Is it worth continuing? Sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes it's no. Sometimes his opponents or foes that are defeated on the ground behind him, he's gathered up all their weapons. Sometimes that can represent winning at the cost of personal relationships. Now again, sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes in order to fight a fight we believe is worth fighting, meaning that we feel it's truly important and not just because we want to be right. Everybody isn't always going to come along with us on the different aspects of our journey, and sometimes coming out ahead or winning or achieving victory or getting through a battle, not everybody that starts it out with us is going to finish it with us, and sometimes that's just the way it goes. But sometimes it can represent being, sometimes the Five of Swords can represent being so ambitious or so driven or so determined to be right, whether it's really important or not, that you want to win at all costs, even if that costs personal relationships in an unnecessary way. So kind of watch that. Because, this man has won. He's gathered up all his opponent's foes and he's holding his own aloft in victory. Woohoo! But the colors are still kind of murky and bleak. He looks tired, worn out, exhausted. He's bleeding from a little cut on his forehead. I mean, this battle was not easy. It came at a cost. It was a hard-won victory. And I actually, and whether it's worth it or not, or worth continuing or not, it's an individual question that, the answer is an individual answer depending on what's going on in your life. But I feel like for a lot of you, it was just that you've been through something. I think a lot of the cards, a lot of the signs have, which has been very difficult and challenging. And it wasn't even a battle maybe that you meant to fight, but it was one you found yourself in and you just saw it through. And you've come out the other side. And you've come out all right, tired, worn out. Maybe if you'll cut to nicks here and there. And it's about time to rest, which you will be doing at the end of the month. And it may have caused some personal relationships, and you may have learned some lessons too from this card. And I feel like you have, Virgo, because the clarifying and accompanying card is strength, which is about, this isn't about the brute force, wave your sword around kind of strength. This is about the kind of strength that it requires and that you attain more of by facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, wrestling with your demons, facing perhaps, I feel like some of the conflict or challenges or struggles or pain you've been through recently. I mean, everybody has their own part to play in those. Everybody in terms of blame and responsibility, everybody carries their own weight. And decisions that they make. And I feel like strength can also represent looking at yourself and looking at maybe some aspects of yourself that you don't like or that you realize are negative or harmful behavior patterns or choices you tend to make that no longer work for you and that you want to change and that you want to move forward from. And I feel like some of you, out of this conflict and this hard-won victory, part of this victory also that's been rather costly and painful, but their valuable lessons have been that you've perhaps examined some of your behavior patterns, Virgo, and the way that you have of choosing some things or behaving, perhaps because of your past. And you've had the courage and strength and humility to face those things, to work on changing those things. That's what her taming this wild beast, this lion, represents. This lion is symbolic of those aspects of ourselves that we don't like and need to change, fears, doubts, worries, insecurities we have, walking right into that, dealing with it, embracing ourselves and walking through the other side. It takes strength to do it, and we acquire more strength in doing so, which is why she is now, she's tamed it rather gently. She has her head up and she is moving forward courageously into her future, on her path, and she is in motion and on the go. Her dress is flowing, her hair is flowing, she is in motion. Beautiful. Hard-won victory, maybe some lessons learned, but they will serve you well, Virgo. And some of you, it may have cost you a relationship or two. That's going to vary depending on who's watching. Now, at or towards the end of, and remember, if you're still in the process of doing this, face these things that you need to face once and for all. You have this. Remember, your overall energy and guidance is the magician. You can do it. Now, at or towards the end of the month, we have a beautiful, reassuring energy. We have the Ten of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. I like this combination of cards. I mean, the Four of Pentacles has sometimes been referred to as the miser card. In money, it can represent being very, maybe stingy or needing to be very careful with money, being very careful with money, holding on to what you have. But it can also represent, fours can represent stability or stagnation, holding on to what you have particularly if you've lost a lot, because you need to be careful with what you have left. And that could be the case here too, with some hard learned lessons here. But I feel like for a lot of you it's because of that, and it's also, but it's stability as well. And what's crowning it is the Ten of Cups, which is the happy home card, sometimes referred to as a happily ever after card, the happy home card. Tens represent completion, achievement, culmination. And Cups is water energy, and in the tarot this is energy of feelings, emotions, relationships. It's a card that represents marriage, blessings, childbirth. There's a strong connection to home and family. It represents kind of finally being at that place where you feel a sense of things coming together. Everything's fitting right. There's a sense of happiness and contentment and harmony and peace, particularly in home and family and relationships. Beautiful, beautiful energy, and much needed too, because it comes right after and is right next to this Five of Swords. It's hard-won victory. So I feel like, Virgo, you end the month in a really good place, in a happy place, maybe healing from a few wounds here and there, but having gotten through it, having triumphed, and not necessarily in the sense of triumphing over other people, but triumphing over yourself, and having the bravery and strength and courage to do that, and really reconnecting and enjoying what you have left, what you have to hold on to, and how important and vital it is to you. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Remember, when you get in those places of self-doubt, remember the Magician and remember strength. You've got this one, Virgo. It's all going to be all right. Take a deep breath, open your eyes, and just get in there. So Virgo, that pretty much wraps up your June 2018 mid-month reading. I hope that you have enjoyed it, that you find it or found it useful and helpful, because that's really why we do these. Again, if any of you would like a more personal, tailored, just for you one-on-one reading, you can get more information and contact details by clicking on the little About button on my YouTube channel or clicking on the description bar of all the videos I post. Please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be so happy to work with you and set up a personal reading with you, live or recorded, as quickly as we can. And for fast answers to those quick, easy questions, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo, and that link is also included. So Virgo, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the July 2018 general readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.